Yo, what's up, guys? This is Dante again, and we are doing a live stream type deal on here and practice our social distancing. So, we haven't even. Should we just call you Swoosh on here? Like, we don't want. I don't know if you want to see your real name on here. Okay, all right. Because we gave like little nicknames to everybody on here, so I don't know if you want to be.
Got a nasty ring back.
All right, so I got Kiki on here. I got Alpha Monk on here, myself, and we got a new person that's actually helping us out on the media side of it, and we're actually putting him on the episode today. Welcome.
I don't know anything about dating. Just FYI. So this is just coming out. Whatever comes out of my mouth is coming out of my mouth. All right.
All
Cool.
right. So be prepared. So just don't. So should we say buzzwords today?
Yeah.
Get someone.
Okay.
What should be the word? It's a good word. It's a good word we should say for the people on here. Then I'll pin it on my live stream.
Well, Markel's on my live stream.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How did you didn't go on mine? Messed up, man. that's whatever.
Not an attractive girl, dude. Why is he gonna go on yours?
No, that's true. That makes sense.
Dante, though.
This is true.
She said it's Dante, though.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, okay. So the buzzword should be universal. You don't have to do a man and women one.
Yeah, it should be universal since it's it's only one female today.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, dang. How is all by herself? Man, what's a good one? Well, we'll get back to that. We'll figure that out. So the topic we're gonna talk about today is gonna be shallowness and entitlement. So I'm gonna have my man Alpha Monk tell us the definitions of those two things for the listeners. Because I know you had a good one. You wrote it down.
I did. I can't remember what I said though. Someone go off the top of my head. I think what I was mainly going for is shallowness is basically when somebody's getting with someone just because of a certain subject matter or a certain standard. It's just that, it's very shallow. It's either just like money, or it could be I just only date this type of race, or I only date people who make this much money.
Okay.
Stuff of that nature. It's never for emotions or anything of that nature. It's just strictly very shallow, And then entitlement. I'm sorry?
It sounds a lot like me.
Entitlement is pretty much, self-explanatory. It's when you get into a relationship and one person believes they deserve certain things other than the other person, or they feel entitled to have this person treat them this way without, reciprocating, or, this very narcissistic type of personality trait. So something around those manners.
Okay.
Oh, Markel said the buzzword should be sugar baby.
Sugar baby.
Sugar baby.
Sugar baby. A sugar mama.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Sugar mama.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sugar daddy. Okay. That's the buzzword, huh? Okay, so no one can say that.
Can you explain what a buzzword is again, Dante?
So if you say a word that's on here, we're gonna put you on a hot seat. And it's about we're gonna do either you guys ask questions or people who are on our live stream ask a question. So that way they know.
Cool.
I don't think anyone's gonna say it. I didn't really say that word. So if you guys say that, then
Yeah,
I never really say that.
I don't think anyone's gonna.
All right.
I mean,
I was gonna say friendship can be one, but
friendship.
yeah.
That's a more of a word that we just kind of all say, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, friendship. I'm looking at Ray in the back. Sorry. All right.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Friendship.
Am I distracting you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, friendship. I'll say that one. I'll put that on there.
What if we have like various buzzwords?
Huh?
Like various, like not just one, like just a couple.
I mean, yeah, we can say that, but buzzword could be sugar mama, baby.
Sugar mama and friendship.
Yeah.
Sugar baby and friendship. There you go.
Maybe friendship. Got it.
Okay.
All right. any of those lines with sugar in it.
Okay.
So none of those. Okay, all right. All right. And then friendship. Okay. Okay. I'll put it on here. I'm gonna pin it too. All right. So okay. So we'll start out the topic today. Or you guys want to recap on the last episode? Because I know we talked a lot about the last episode. So
I just want to talk about the anal sex. That's what I want to talk about.
so just so you guys know, if you guys listened to our last episode, this man kept asking for a lot of ass questions. So
Like about ass. In my face.
so if he says anything like that, ass should be the buzzword for you.
For me, yeah. Perfect. It fits my standards.
Okay. So I guess it started off with the questions on, I guess we can kind of get into the topic of that one. So on shallowness, you mean like people who go for like numbers, ratings, and like the people who go for the 10 specifically are very shallow, or they just have a standard? What's the big difference between the two? That's the one I wanted to talk about.
I would say that's more of a standard.
Standard?
Yeah.
So they don't go for someone that's like 5 and below. It's kind of a little shallow a little bit if you're looking at personal looks, really.
It is. I was just about to say that. I mean, it's a part of a standard. But the one I'm talking about is once you're starting to date, are you actually just going for, like, if you were just going for a 10, that's pretty much just like they say, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder. A 10 is different from everybody. So if you're going for a 10, then what are you going for? Is it just her looks? And that's when it becomes a shallow thing. If you're going for a 10 as far as everything, like when I say I'll go for something 8 and above, it's usually her personality, her looks, how she treats people, what's her success. Everything has to be an 8 when I go for an 8. Everything, I want everything to be close enough to an 8 because I'm not, perfect either. But if somebody's just going for like, oh, she needs to be an 8 and just looks, and that's when it becomes a little shallow, because then once you get used to her looks, which it always happens, we always get used to each other after a while, and once that happens, then he's just going to drop her and go for another 10 or whatever just because off the looks, and I mean, girls do it too. It goes for both genders.
Yeah, I agree. It does.
Okay. Because I know we talked about one of our questions on our Instagram. We talked about personal looks. How important is that to their personality? So I mean, I don't.
Big personality. You know what I'm talking about? Big personality.
I'm not sure because when you think of shallow, I think of the movie Shallow Hal with
Oh yeah, with Gwyneth Paltrow, right?
Yeah.
Was that her?
No.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of I'm thinking of that because that I guess people are looking for those kind of looks too, and they don't care about the personality. So I think like a lot of people who answered back on our questions, they actually all like the personality type. So there's not a lot of people except for Swish over here. He's like
oh my bad.
He's one exception to a few, but I mean at least you admit it though. I mean it's not a bad thing to be shallow. I don't think shallowness should be a bad thing if someone has. I mean I don't know. I guess it's kind of dictated as a bad thing, but I mean there's people who are, at least they admit they agree that this is what it is. I'm shallow in this way, in this type.
Well, I think looks are always the initiator, like if you're on a dating app, obviously you're going to see that person's picture and then you're going to see, oh, this person's attractive. So automatically you're going to look at them, right? But if they're not, you're just going to swipe left.
True.
So I think that's with everybody, it's always like, they're always going to be the person that's going to get your attention first than someone who's not as attractive.
That is true.
I have a question actually. For Kiki, right? Kiki? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for Kiki. So how important are the pictures on the Tinder profile?
Important.
I think they're pretty important. I mean, this is you showing yourself, If
I show my nipple, does that help? No?
No, that's not going to help.
Nips.
That's not going to help. Do you need advice on what kind of pictures to post or something?
Yeah, definitely. I always need advice.
Dogs and kids.
Shave my nipple? I have hair nipple.
You gotta post a picture of you with a tiger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's the times.
Dogs always work. I don't know. Dogs and kids, man.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah, dog.
One of these like outdoors, hiking, one at the gym, you know, to show that you're
It's
physically
kind of
fit,
basic though.
like to work out.
You know what?
It's
As
kind of
basic as it is,
Is
it
it?
gets them swipe that right. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like every time I see like people going on hikes, it's like, dude, you're basic. You know?
So you never hike.
I did it.
You only did it
That's
once.
weird.
Yeah, no, people. You know, that's a good question though, because like the Tinder too as well. All those dating apps, like I look at like face first, and I like always swipe like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, so it kind of sucks because we all look at that. I mean, I am. A lot of us are programmed to look at looks too, man. Because I mean, is that shallow though? Because people are looking at that. Would that necessarily be the same thing? Because you could be low key shallow if you like kind of, you know, what I mean, if you
It
just
is. I mean, it's low key
that's
shallow.
all
I
you're
mean,
looking off.
that whole app is low key shallow. It's
Yeah.
mainly now. It's mainly just for hookups. I mean, people who get on there
Right
looking
now.
for dates. I mean, they either don't know or they're
Yeah,
you know
mostly
wishing
for
on upon a
hookups.
star.
But I do know some people who met their spouses on Tinder.
Yeah, with Christian Mingle.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Mingle. Mingle all day, bro. I think that works. Yeah.
Yeah, I see some people who actually are still in a relationship after meeting on the dating app too. Because
That's true.
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, it can happen. There's
yeah.
Hey, farmers only. You know.
I think they're starting to, these newer apps are starting to be less like, you know what I mean, shallow.
Yeah.
So, you know, like you have to look at their profile, like their bio. You have to
Like
look at
kids, right?
you have to find out you know, if you work with them, like Coffee Meets Bagel is kind of like, oh, you have to really read their shit to actually find out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it gets people to kind of think more on that. But Tinder for sure, like damn. It used to be like back in the day, that's where they got the idea from. They got that from all these college kids that did who's hot and who's not kind of thing. So that's where they got the idea from. Is that was based off of that. They're trying their best to not be as shallow, but because no one looks at the profile. Barely.
I look at the profile.
I look at it. I look at what the person
They
wrote.
put something,
You know, on their profile. I look to see if they're witty. I look to see if you know, if they have good penmanship or if they have good prose. So that's kind of what I look at.
Okay. So how do you guys spot? Would you spot out someone who's shallow? Would you already know based off how they are on? Can you spot out someone who's shallow?
No, it's in person.
I don't think so.
No,
I think it has to be in person. Like
in person.
yeah, I've never like online.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that. Yeah.
Oh man, like I have an issue where I do typically do that. I look, I'm like, oh man, like I know it's bad, but I do judge on like the
Hell bad, dude. Hell bad.
I feel like the 10s are like, okay, they're shallow as fuck. Like this person looks way too, you know what I mean? Like she already knows, like, you know, I don't know. I go off that too. I look, I'm like, yeah, she's.
But I mean, it's kind of difficult because everything's set up that way. I mean,
they're all into themselves.
Everything now, you know, everybody's platform is set up just to present themselves. So, you know, if a woman can't really show that she's intelligent through photos. I mean, she can take pictures of her reading, but you know,
that's just
she can read.
Glasses.
Yeah, what's the book about?
Oh, what kind of book is that? Harry Potter? What?
But mostly it's just so she can show off her assets. You know,
her assets, exactly. Her assets.
Then it's
no. If she takes a
harder
picture,
for her, you're not the wow.
Okay. I would kind of look at it. If I see a girl taking a picture of her taking, like, I saw a picture of her reading a book and like in a bikini, I'm gonna be like, okay, like, you know, like, are you just doing this to show that you're smart, or you know what I mean?
Right.
I'll catch on to that. Like,
they can fool me anytime. If they have,
you know, that book is way too advanced for you.
If they have a book and a bikini, that's a perfect picture. I'm sold.
Vinci Code.
Right, all the time. Yeah.
Oh wait, Markel has a question. He asked, do girls like gym pictures on online profiles?
Is that kind of basic? I think it's kind of basic.
Gym pictures? But a lot of guys do it though, don't they? I mean, I don't know.
It's good to post because it shows one of your hobbies, like one of your interests, and it shows that you're actively trying to take care of yourself, you know? That you're
I'm sorry, go ahead. Finish it.
Oh yeah. That's all I wanted to say.
I've always thought that was kind of weird just to do that anyway. I'm kind of, you know, old school in that way. I don't think I need to show everybody.
I'm at the gym.
That I can show you the results of it maybe. Like, you know, if I work out, then if I'm on the beach or something, somebody takes a photo of us having fun, you see the results of me working out. But just like I don't show myself. I see a lot of artists, they show themselves drawing and painting while they're doing it. I don't like to do that. You know, I'm old school that way. I don't want to show my masterpiece until it's done. You know, so it's the same way to me. I don't know, but you know, teach his own, obviously.
It's
But
kind
I
of
just
like,
think
oh, sorry.
no, I just think to me, it's a form of attention seeking at the same time. But again, this is what the platforms are for. So it's like it's kind of becoming a norm.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's also, you know, it's what you put out also, right? Like if you want to attract a douchebag girl, you're gonna get a douchebag girl, right? By being a douchebag, right?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But again, like if it's a guy and his whole page is about him working out, then boom, there you go. But like one here and there, it's like, why are you posting that? Like, you know, you never posted that before.
Yeah.
Why are you posting it now? You know, it doesn't make any sense.
For the
But he's
light.
always consistently posted stuff about gym and stuff, and it's like again, it's the norm. But if you're doing it like out of nowhere, it's like, come on.
It's like me posting a picture of me eating, you know? Right?
Yeah. Or people like at a club or something, like hella cropped out picture. You're just like, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know how it is on the women's side, like how it looks like on the guys. Because I know most dudes. I mean, I'm not saying all, but like most dudes are kind of like we're not photogenic. It's like we don't go out and do hella much. So my boy was like trying to get me to like up his profile because like, oh man, does this work? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's you in the bar and the club, man. Like just
in the barn.
You know, come on, man.
Come see my barn. What?
Come on, man. This is you didn't even take this picture. Someone took it and you just grabbed it from
Exactly. No,
like, come on, man. I don't know how it is in the women's did, but like from all the women I see on there, like, man, they're like got all these pictures of them going out and yeah, like photogenic, they're on a boat and stuff. I'm like, okay, man, they put some time into this. So I would assume that they're outdoorsy type people, but you know, never know.
I think you could be faking it. You know?
They could be faking it, yeah. They could be.
Faking it for the gram.
But I mean, I guess that's. But from your term of shallowness, what you're saying, because we're just gonna talk about one topic for a while, and then we're going to entitlement next. But like shallowness wise, now you said something about power, like it's money driven. Like they're just strictly looked at someone from. So is it from that person who is shallow going for that, or someone who's shallow who is attracting that? Is that the same thing? So someone who said like, let's say someone who has all that is looking for X, Y, and Z. And then someone who's looking for that also can be shallow too. Is it just one person, or is it two people who actually go for that?
I mean, it would be both. I mean, it depends on what they're like. If they're, it's just, all it is if you're going for anything other than a connection, trying to fall in love, or you know, anything that actually has meaningfulness. I'm sorry. In the relationship, you know, if you're going for just one thing, you know, I've known dudes who said, I only go for Filipino chicks. That's all he said. That's all he goes for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's hilarious. And I asked him,
he's fine. He got it.
It's like it's a trip, man. That's all he goes for. And he doesn't care about their personality. He doesn't care about, you know, anything. Just as long as they're Filipino. And it's like he can get them, but he never can keep them. And it's like, because he's just going for that one thing. Okay. And it's like, not really, you know, it's fine if she's Filipino. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool, bro. But it's like, you gotta look for more than that. You gotta look for something a little bit more deeper than that, you know, but.
So basically, shallow means just going for something very little, you know, like, oh, just going for someone who's just Filipino, or just going for someone who's only attractive, and you're not really looking for anything else.
Not looking for a true connection, because that, I mean,
What will be a true connection?
That's what if you think about it, all bases of relationships, friendship, whatever you want to call them, all bases of relationship are a form of connection. We're all trying to make some form of connection, a deeper connection than just something shallow, like we're both Christians, or, you know, we're both this, or, you know, I only go for girls who are blonde, or only go for girls who are Asian, or some shit like that. But it's if you're going for more of a meaningful connection.
Now, would that be like a kind of a fetish in a way? Well, we talked about that, like.
No, I don't think that would be a fetish.
No, they specifically. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think that'd be something different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fetish the whole.
I mean, you could probably turn into a fetish, I guess. Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Basically.
did you ask your friend, like, what is he like? Is he looking for a true connection with just Filipino girls? Like, is he didn't tell you?
Well, I didn't really
no
want to
reason?
say his reasoning because it's kind of demeaning and everything. So it's like,
Oh,
Are we
okay.
gonna talk shit about Filipinos now? Is that what's going on?
what's up?
I could go on if we're gonna talk shit about Filipinos. I could go on.
Yo, Kylie's right here. I mean, she's Filipino.
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
I
I just want to have respect. I don't want to shit on, I don't want to shit on like a certain ethnicity.
Yeah.
I don't really know
If we
anything
get
about it.
canceled, I don't mind. If I get canceled, I don't mind.
No, it was just
I mean, you
his
can speak your mind.
perspective,
Speak it up still. If you want to,
Speak
go
my
ahead.
mind. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm giving you the mic, man. You got it, man. You can say whatever you want.
Can't think of anything, but I'll definitely think of something.
Your buzzword,
I don't
Filipino.
know. The way I see it is every ethnicity on the planet has issues, man. So
This is true.
and nobody's clean from anything.
Yo, I have a question. What about you, Alpha Monk? Do you have a
What's up?
preference of what race you date? Do you date certain-
Man, I've dated so many different ethnicities. Yeah, I don't really have a preference. I just
Okay. Which one do you hate?
which one do I hate?
Dislike? You wouldn't go for it? Like, just
I
like,
don't hate anybody.
What do you hate?
Dislike.
Oh no, dislike.
At the moment, I would say I'm less interested in Asians and Latino women at the moment. Just at the moment.
Makes sense.
that's fair.
What about you, Kiki?
No, I don't have any ethnicity that I don't like.
Really? Come on, really? We're gonna keep it between us, right? Oh, and
Not dislike.
Is this?
Not dislike, because nobody should dislike
No.
anybody. It's
Yeah.
like what would, okay, actually, because
Erase
that was mine was what would be on the last of my list as far as dating right now. I'm just saying right now, because there's a couple of ethnicities that I haven't dated in like a decade. I want to
You haven't explored yet? Okay.
compare the culture and stuff like that and see who they are as a person.
Yeah.
So
Big.
and I've dated since I moved here. I've dated so many Asian women and Latin women. So it's
They're all out here.
what about you, Dante?
Me, man, honestly, man, it's funny because what I've been attracting a lot more are Filipino women.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's not like my only preference.
Oh, sorry.
No, I mean, Bay Area, whatever.
There you go.
But I don't really mind. It doesn't really matter to me at this point. But like for sure, like bottom for me will probably be like white women.
I
Just-
agree.
just
Okay,
because-
actually, yeah, I think white would be on the bottom for me too.
Yeah, because I mean, I grew up with like a lot of white people, so like I hate them. I love white people, but I've dated them so much. It's just like,
Come on, Dante. You can just say it.
no, I mean, it's fine. I can say it.
You hate white people. It's
Come on,
okay.
man.
Say it.
I mean, the ones I've dated lack a lot of culture. I mean, I'd say
Yeah.
all the ones I do, like it's hard because like
It's like teaching a fifth grader.
well, not all, especially in the Bay Area. It's really cool because a lot of people are very open. A lot of people are very, very cultured in their ways too. They attach to another culture that they like, that they
Mhm.
gravitate towards, which it's okay. It's fine. You got some culture from another culture, which is that's not a
AKA, they
problem.
don't have any. AKA, they don't have any.
Yeah. But the ones I grew up with were like in the suburbs, so it was kind of like okay, they were stuck in their own little bubble of a lot of stuff. So I mean, not speaking bad, I would put them at the bottom for sure. Like,
Should I go? Am I going? All right, I'll go.
yeah.
Mine is the same. Mine's the same thing. White women. They just it's kind of like, it's like giving it's like teaching a child like my heritage, I guess, and it's like
Yeah.
kind of a turn off a little bit because like it's like they're teaching someone, and it's I don't know. It's kind of weird. Yeah.
I mean, exactly true. I think if they accept your culture, that's cool. That's awesome. You mean like some people are kind of like if two cultures can't really mesh together sometimes. So that can also.
I've never had that actually. I've never had that happen to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it gets pretty.
Now, I mean, nowadays people aren't that into their culture. I mean, Kylie, are you that into your culture? Do you still do a lot of things?
Yes, my last relationships they were both Filipino, so
Okay.
yeah, I am still interested in Filipino guys. But yeah, I guess like everyone but white people.
Why is that?
Guys, come
You
out.
had a bad
Guys, come
experience
out.
with a white dude?
White guys are actually like
Dante, like I don't feel like they're very cultured, you know.
Well, they really, I mean, through my experience, they're kind of not there. They're very easy to adapt other cultures.
Yeah.
They can accept other cultures easily without.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's
I like
kind of,
that
I mean, it's
though.
ironic. If you meet one that's cool enough that has dated outside their own race,
Yeah.
they accept cultures a lot easier and cooler than other ethnicities, which is strange. Because when I've dated Middle Eastern chicks. My last ex was Israeli, and their parents always had an issue. And you know, sometimes the girls would take the family side because they're so cultured.
Yeah.
But when I would date a white girl, you know, she would still take my side. She just wouldn't care what her parents thought when it came to love or relationship. So it's kind of a weird thing, you know. And then plus, I'm like 67% Russian anyway, so it's a trip. But
oh yeah.
yeah.
Didn't know.
No, it's all good.
didn't know. Okay. I mean, I guess even preference is also key. But moving on with the shallowness entitlement. So we'll go on entitlement because that's also another topic I wanted to talk about. So entitlement, your description of the entitlement, what was it again? You just said it earlier.
Like going into a relationship, believing you deserve certain things that other person shouldn't, thinking that you're, you know, it's weird. Like someone will always have the upper hand in a relationship, and it's kind of fucked up to say that, but it's kind of true. Like somebody will always be somewhat
submissive.
I guess all good. It's not that being alpha in the relationship. But it's in different compartments too. It's kind of strange. Like out in public, someone will always take charge, but then at home, if they live together, that then it would switch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes in a relationship, it's just so overbearing because that person thinks they deserve this. They deserve to be worshipped and shit like that, or they deserve to always get gifts, or they deserve this type of thing, or they think that they, you know, even though they haven't done anything for the relationship, they're not really a good person altogether. And they just want all these things. They want to take instead of give more, you know. And there's so many people like that. And I think we should always, you know, touch on that.
Yeah. I think you're exactly right. I feel like in most relationships, I could be wrong, but from what I notice, someone's either giving up something for someone else. I think they're giving up something or someone. Just to keep a relationship going, they have to give up something. I think someone has to be in a submissive. Two alphas really, I mean, they could work, but if some people are just going back and forth and no one's willing to like find a middle ground, it's hard for them to build any foundation. So I think that's key because it's not a bad thing, but I think a lot of people don't realize that they give up something for someone, and I think that requires someone in their ego, the person you're dating with, is not giving something up, and you just have to give something in to keep a relationship strong. I don't know what you guys' thoughts on it.
That's a good question. Like, what is something that you had to give up for someone?
Depends what
Depends.
I mean, really depends. I mean, I rarely see someone say, you know, all of our
what's the craziest thing that you've given up for someone?
I've never seen it where they all went in the same pattern the same way. I just never seen someone like successful.
I had to give up a friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to give up a friendship before.
Friendship?
Oh, you said a buzzword.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So what's my?
I didn't think anyone was gonna say that word.
There you go.
Dang. Okay.
All right. I had to give up my, you know, between like something like my friend.
That sucks,
my girlfriend didn't like him.
Yeah.
So I stopped talking to him, and then he died a year after.
Oh wow.
It was fucking weird. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I learned my lesson from there.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the question for
You're the hot seat, huh? Okay.
I'm a hot seat. Yeah.
I wish I had an alarm.
Said,
let's see. Should I start it off? Because no one's asking questions on here.
All right.
a good question.
I had hella questions. I just don't understand myself.
What's your
I'm not gonna understand myself.
what's your like body asset that you look in a girl? Like, what's the first thing you look at on a girl? Look for.
The first, like body asset.
Yeah, the first thing you look at, like I'm looking specifically, like I'm a butt guy, I'm a tit guy, I'm this kind of guy.
I mean,
Eyes,
petite.
teeth.
Yeah,
Like
petite.
no one could, no, like
The teeth.
Petite.
okay.
Teeth.
Yeah,
You
petite.
said teeth?
No, petite. Teeth, not teeth. Petite.
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 Petite. Oh, my bad.
Hey,
So small.
itty
Oh,
bitty.
okay.
Teeth. Oh, okay.
Tiny purse, tiny
I should
body.
have said teeth. I should have said teeth, but no.
Teeth are big, man. Hey.
Hey, that's true. I mean, she gotta have teeth.
Most people are taking care of their teeth out here, especially these, it sucks.
Smile and shoes.
What happened?
What?
Oh, we have Mitch on here, Slick Mitch.
Oh, Mitch. What up, Mitch?
So he said he looks at smile and their shoes.
Shoes?
I look at their shoes too. Yeah.
What kind of shoes you talking about? Heels? Are we talking about like Jordans? What kind of tennis shoes you looking at, man?
Well, if they have sneakers, they gotta be clean, man. I hate dirty ass sneakers on girls, man.
But if they're like worn in like Converse or something, like they have to look dirty,
See?
Maybe like if she's doing like laundry or something.
Well,
Not if she's like going out. I don't know.
I'm kind of a dancer, so my shoes are always fucking dirty, honestly. This is fucking truth. Yeah.
Oh, hey, hold on. You forget Rock's right. His shoes are always clean. Come on now. He wears Jordans.
That's Foxtrot. He has money.
Man.
He's sponsored by Red Bull. I'm sponsored by my own money. All right.
So there's a dancer that he wears Jordans. Swear he wears different Jordans when he goes to dance, and he never scuffs them up. We feel like
Ray is the
God.
Ray can tell he's best friends with him.
Yeah, he's godly. His shoes never get scuffed up.
Does he wear different Jordans every battle? Here's my shoes. I'm gonna every battle.
Ray don't look at the shoes. I do. One of our crewmates
I
tried
have
to
a
do
question for you now. Since you're in the dance community, would you date a girl who's not a dancer?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still on the hot seat.
I'm still on the hot seat. All right.
Yeah, 3 questions.
I would date anyone. As long as they have a cool personality. That's all.
Haircut and arms.
Yeah.
Someone said they like haircut and arms on my comment.
Say what?
Haircut. Good haircut or just
Well, I have a terrible haircut right now.
kind of arms you looking about? Like
Quarantine hair.
like slim, buff? What kind of arms you talking about?
Would you ever date a big chick?
Me?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Me or
What's
Dante?
he loving?
You.
Okay. Depends how big.
Like 3 times your size or twice your size.
What was my size? Yeah, I would.
Good?
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. 3 times my size? Fuck no. That's too big.
Okay. Big girls need love too, man. BBWs, man. Shout out to the BBWs out there,
Shout
man.
out to all the baby daddies.
They need love.
There you go. A kiss for you. In the roads. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna read what Mitch said. So he said that he can't date a girl with Team Jordans. Who's Team Jordans? Or
Oh, dang. The smaller brand. Okay. Not so Jordan.
then I asked my question, would you ever date someone who's not in the dance community because he's a dancer too? And he said, yeah. A million times yes. I would rather date a girl outside of the dance scene than in one.
I think any dancer's been dancing long enough. I mean, for the guys I've talked to, we rarely don't date girls inside the scene like that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we really don't. We rarely do. Just because they're too close to you. And if they're like already in the scene, that's fine. But if they're just you abducting them into the scene, it's kind of like, oh, and then they start hanging out with, they start being friends with all the dancers after you guys broke up. You're like, man, you know?
Just always see each other because you have the same friends.
Yeah. So, that, you know,
like seeing someone within the same friend group.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because dancing's very,
it always sucks.
Very cliquish, right?
Yeah, you get stuck into it because if you really like the scene so much, you start staying in the scene. It's very, that's how it is.
You know what's funny is Dante is he's seen this. I've turned down girls, even girls that hang out at the club.
Yeah, he does.
I don't want to fucking, you know.
They're like, they're all up on him. He's like, man, whatever. Just start.
I just want to dance. That's all I want to do. All right, get the fuck out. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. We asked 3 questions, or was it 2?
That was 3.
It
That was
seemed
3.
like it was
Okay.
5. I don't know.
You're on the hot seat for now. Don't say that word again. No.
You said, I know of too many girls that have dated multiple guys within the same circle.
So then,
Hey guys, say hi to everybody.
Hey, what's going on? Who's that?
Girl,
it's
girl.
another girl.
Is that Ray's girl?
Sorry to interrupt. She says hi.
She says hi.
Is that Ray's girl? What?
Yeah.
Okay. Mitch probably saw. Mitch knows Ray.
He said chill. I don't know.
Yeah, Mitch knows Ray. We're all dancers. We all know each other. Okay. So moving on to that topic. So now we're going to entitlement. Okay. So you mentioned, yeah, entitlement's weird. I've rarely seen it where, like I was telling before, that it's worked where someone didn't have to stop something or quit something or not. You mean I've never seen it where they haven't gave up nothing. They all want the same thing. I could be wrong, but I've just never seen it. I've seen someone either give up something or someone. And that's also, I guess you have to be submissive, especially when someone who's, your ego also is a big issue. I think I've dealt with that with a lot of women who are very, not high strong, but have a really big ego,
Mhm.
It takes a while for you to kind of go, okay, all right, I'm just gonna let them just do what they do, because if you want it to work, you have to do that. Could be wrong, but it's that person's entitlement. They want things how they want it to be. So, I mean,
Yeah, I feel like you have to sacrifice. Everybody has to sacrifice certain things in a relationship and compromise to make them work, because you have two totally opposite, two totally different personalities, coming together. So you have to. Those are like givens. But I think when you have to give up something, like a part of yourself or a part of your dream or something like that, I think that's what is kind of a little too much. And your partner should know that. And if they're asking for you to do something like that, that they're not really caring about your well-being, your overall, dream or whatever. And I've seen that happen way too many times where people just want too much attention from that partner, that they'll take them away from their own dream or whatever they're striving for, or deny them for something that they want out of a relationship just because, they feel entitled. Or
Do you have any advice on people that that I might be going through that? How to avoid it? So
it's coming. I mean,
what are some key points to know that that person's entitled?
I mean, thinking about it logically, you wouldn't know until you start to actually date them, until they start to show some form of signs of, being needy, wanting more and more attention, taking you away from certain things. You won't see that until at least like the, I don't know, second, third month maybe.
Yeah.
But that doesn't show itself at the beginning, because people always put up a facade. We always put up our best foot forward in the first month or so when we're meeting someone. We're trying to impress them, which everybody does. So you're not going to show your dirty laundry until you at least have sex with them a couple of times, and you guys are more intimate emotionally and mentally. And then once that hit in, then you can start showing your flaws, and you can work through that shit. But I would say when you start to see or feel that they're taking you away from things that you actually love, it's a part of who you are as your personality. And that's like the first, red flag. Because nobody should do that. They should, even if they don't understand it or they don't like the subject matter, they should still support that and still understand it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have a girlfriend who really into crochet, even though it's like, it's okay, it's a knitting thing. That's cool. I don't knit, or I don't give a fuck about that shit. But it's like, I'm still gonna tell her it's beautiful. I'm still gonna like put them around the house or whatever, and support it, because that's what she's always done. Or who knows? And then one day she'll tell you, oh, my grandmother taught me this, and she passed away, blah blah blah. But if I shut it down and was like, I don't want you doing that shit, it's stupid, it's a waste of time, I had no idea where it came from. So it's like
it's true, man. And even coming from our dancers too, man, I've seen people who stop dancing because their significant other, or they stop practicing, or they stop doing their, we've seen it so many times. And I think the best, the only tip I can really give people who are, if someone who's going through that, man, is nothing you can really say, man, because you'll be kind of, if it's someone really close to you and they really feeling this person, and you're just like, okay, like,
What
one of
about
those things.
What about as a friend? What can you tell if you see that as a friend?
They won't listen.
would you tell your friend? I
Yeah.
don't know if I would.
They won't listen, man. Even if you talk to them, they won't listen. They'll deny that shit.
I would probably just say, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not gonna say anything.
Honestly, you honestly can't say much. And then you kind of like when they break up or if they break up or what happens, you're like, hey man, that person was kind of stopping you from doing this.
Oh, you know what happened to me? My friend broke up with his girlfriend, and then he was like that,
Yeah.
and then they got back together, and I was like, fuck, I fucking scared myself.
You saw all those things. He's like, oops. He's like, oh, I don't take those back. They're still good. Not as I said it.
Well, I think if you're in a relationship or if you're dating somebody, it's really important that you practice that empathy as a person. Like show interest in something that they're really interested in. I mean, like if they're a dancer, it doesn't mean that you have to become a dancer, or it doesn't mean that you have to take them away from, their hobby. Just show that you support them. I mean, go to their jams or something, or record them, just show that you support what they're interested in, And I think you should be mindful of that with whoever you date, and they should be mindful of that as well, just show like respect for each other.
But what if you have a porn addiction? Do you show them love?
What was that?
What if they have a porn addiction? How would you make that work?
Oh, a porn addiction?
Yeah. How would you make that work? I don't know how I would make that work.
If that was like their hobby was porn?
Yeah.
Like they're like,
well, I don't know. I think that's more of like a problem or like an issue. That's not really like a
that's right.
hobby.
Yeah, that would be more of an addiction. Yeah, that's like a totally different thing.
A drug addiction, something like that.
Like a red flag if they have like a porn addiction. No.
I think so, a little bit.
It'll probably put a strain on the relationship.
It would.
Literally.
Yeah, because like the girl will feel like, well, okay, if you look at all these other people, or a guy or girl, whatever, like what am I to you? Then if you look, if you getting off of this,
cool with
expectation to the girl, like she thinks like, oh, he's watching this girl, like does he want me to do this? What he's watching?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I want you to do that and more. That's what I think.
What at all? I was gonna say something. It was about. I totally forgot. Man, don't come to me. I was actually gonna talk about that today, but it just didn't come to me. I have to think about it. Moving on. Okay, so I mean, do you guys see? I mean, from these two types that we said, we've all talked about them being not great. This is a negative. There's only negatives I've seen from this, like the shallowness and this. So what to you guys is a true relationship? What would that be? I know communication is one from my end. What about you guys? What's what would define that for people who aren't that? What would they be? What would they be classified as? Person looking for a true connection? Like what is your guys' true connections? Like what would you guys look for to, like I said, in a relationship for true connection wise?
You know what? I think a lot of people are in different stages.
Yeah.
Like for example, I could have met the love of my life at 20 and not know it, And I think it's a thing of experimenting, finding what you like. Because when I was younger, I didn't know what I wanted. Now that I'm 32, I know what I want, I know that I want personality, and I know I want someone that's gonna help me through my struggle, Or
Okay.
I think everyone should experiment, or if you already know what you want, then go for it. It's different for every single person. Like most of the people that I know that are younger, they tell me, oh, I don't know what I want, and it's even girls at my age still don't know what they want. Like for example, I really like this one girl, but I noticed that she did not know what she wanted, so I just kind of let it go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, to ask you guys, moving on to that question with you guys, is that the same thing? We're all in agreement that personality is key?
That's very important.
Very important.
Yes, very important. Yeah.
Second would probably be communication, of course, true connection, and what else? Like a third one. So that way people can know that they're on the right track of a true connection.
For me, it's if they can make me laugh.
Okay.
But yeah, sense of humor is really important too.
Humor. Okay.
And kindness, how they treat others.
Yeah, that's a big one actually.
I
Yeah.
think respect is like,
Mhm.
because respect is so deep.
Yeah.
It's like a real, like true respect. You won't
Respect.
do a person wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
see people who are like just so disrespectful. You're just like,
Yeah, I mean, like true respect is a blanket because it has trust in there and it has loyalty underneath that as well. Because if you're really respecting somebody, you're not gonna cheat on them. If you really respect someone, you're always gonna be honest with them. So it's like respect should be number one. Just respect that person that you're with.
true. Most people don't these days. They kind of just go in their relationship. I think for me, when I've seen situations where, well, okay, there's some people who are looking for people who are, I mean, not looking for narcissistic people, but they attract those type of people. And those are the type of people who either give too much for something, they do so much for somebody, and they just totally just take advantage of that. Now, do we have to, for the question I would ask, if you know someone's going through that, you say the same thing, you just won't say nothing, or you kind of show that empathy, or do you show sympathy towards that? Because there's some people who do so much for that person, and they kind of just walk over there and they just do that. They keep doing it. The other person's not gonna cheat. But when they see situations where they have a problem with giving too much to that person, and that person is not reciprocating or giving something back, now that's an issue, right? So
Hey, as long as you're giving me a BJ, that's all I care about.
I think it depends on the person, because if you're the person that gives a lot, maybe you like giving and maybe you like feeling needed, or maybe that's just how you give love, and maybe the other person who's receiving doesn't really know how to give back, or they don't really feel like they know how to give back as much as the other person is giving. So I think it
I've
just
been
depends on people.
I've been on the receiving end of getting a lot of gifts from her and not knowing how to reciprocate.
Yeah.
And it was funny because she didn't care about getting gifts from me. She wanted what I've given her already, the attention, the physical touch, and, the emotional connection, the communication, and just being a really good person to her. That in itself, and then what I've done for her in the past, that in itself was the gift. And at first I couldn't, wrap my mind around it. I was like, damn, let me, stop buying me shit because it's not feeling right. But then, that would hurt her as well because, I'm telling her to stop doing something that was part of her affection, her way of showing affection. So I had to learn that shit all over again. And I usually have to learn that every time I meet a new girl because they do it in a different way. But it's always some form of gift giving.
Mhm.
And it's different, but, I have to learn it.
So someone who's not a good gift giver, should they still accept the gifts, or they just kind of just push them away because in your mind,
accept it.
Yeah, do not accept it because you'll really hurt that person's feelings.
You'll hurt because they put a lot of thought into that.
Well, later on, they're going to start expecting something back in return sometimes because they don't know that you're not a gift giver person unless you tell them. But if they're going,
usually in my experience, if the girl starts giving you gifts right off the bat, she's a giver anyway. So she's always been a giver. So she's not really expecting that much coming back from you in the same way.
Yeah.
But if she's starting to give you gifts, you've already given her something to, for her to want to do that.
Alpha Monk, it sounds like it's a red flag on your part. Is it?
Yeah, because if you don't do it at the back, because you be doing it that dude that's just like the narcissist, this bad guy who's like just just keep taking, like we were just talking about earlier. Someone just
no, I always give it back. I just try to find out what she wants to give, what kind of gift is what she like back. Would you like me to buy you gifts as well? Then we can play with each other. You buy something, I'll buy you something, or if it's something else. And usually they tell me, I just want you to do more of this, or I want you to do more of that. And then I just do that. I just reciprocate that way.
Communication.
Yeah. Also, showing your appreciation is a form of giving back too. Showing that you appreciate what you received from her. So I think that's good too. I mean, like I'm a giver, but as long as he shows appreciation for me, then that's like enough. I don't expect him to give me back what I gave him, like in terms of gift giving.
And there are gifts that are a little too extreme sometimes.
Like buy a cell phone or something.
Like iPhone 11.
They're like expensive gifts. And like, shit, how can I make up to this. So it's like
She just bought me a car. Like, how could I?
what the fuck? What's supposed to do with that? Yeah, it's like so you gotta be careful. But
Dang.
they well, put it this way,
Would that,
most
would that
women
be a
I've
red
known, they see emotional currency as more than actual currency. So
Mhm.
emotional currency is very expensive to them. So you know what I'm saying? What you've done for them, touched their heart in a certain way, made them feel special in a certain way, is so much more than you buying them just a gift. Because that gift can, it can be broken, something like that. But if you've done something for them, they're gonna hold that shit forever. So
Yeah. 'Cause I've seen relationships where the person buys their girlfriend a TV or something like that, and then they break up. He wants that TV back.
Oh, that's
yeah,
weird.
probably get in a fight and she breaks it.
Yeah.
It's
A
just like
dog.
it is.
Dogs are usually the big one, man. Usually like that. That's like a child, man. It's like you invested into a child right now because I want my dog back, man, because I paid for it. Like,
Yeah.
Weird.
See, I don't know that there's certain gifts you just like.
Certain gifts, man. It's like,
Don't
damn,
get
you
dogs.
want that?
Wait. I have a question. Is that a red flag for any of you guys? Gift giving?
No, I don't see it as a red flag.
I have to for me it's a little different because I have to think about okay, how long this person's gonna do this for? Like, do I got to do something or show, like you said, show they appreciate? They could be like Kylie and be like, oh, just show that you're appreciated of it, or they want something back. So I don't know which one it could be. So, and they'll say it's okay for the first 6 months, and like 2 years hit the line, 3 years, they're gonna start thinking, all right, he's not giving me nothing. Like, he's just showing appreciation. That's cool and all, but I want him to buy me something back, like for Christmas or my birthday or something. You're just like, oh, and if they only name you on the 3 holidays that you give them gifts, like Valentine's Day, Christmas, birthday, they're gonna think like, I need more. So I've been in
Well,
situations.
I guess it all depends on what relationship you're in too.
Yeah, it depends.
Because like they say one thing, they say it's okay, and later on down the road, things change. People's ideals change. I don't know. I see that as a red flag for me. For me, I know that they're gift givers, but I would think someone wants them in return. That's
Well,
how
I
I
mean,
see it.
it's always gonna have to be a give and
Yeah.
get. It's always gonna be like that. So it's like you gotta just figure out, like, if you can't financially match her with the gifts financially, then again, you just find out what it is that she loves that you do for her, and then just do that. Most of the time, if girls aren't, like, you can spot a gold digger from a mile away. You understand how she is. She's not gonna give you a gift. She's not gonna give you a gift. So if a girl's gonna give you a gift, it's because you've done something for her. You've done something emotionally or physically for her that made her feel good. So she's buying you something to show her appreciation. So you say, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate the gift." You put it somewhere, or you wear it, and then keep doing what you're doing. So it's not that really. To me, it's not a red flag. It's just process of our relationship.
Yeah. Someone asked a question on here. They said, most thoughtful gift received, I guess from most thoughtful gift that you guys received.
Most
Or
thoughtful.
what you gave to someone most thoughtful.
That we received, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I never.
I think the most thoughtful gift I received was way back when I was maybe like 20 or something, and my boyfriend at the time, he got me tickets to Comic-Con, or got us tickets to Comic-Con. So yeah, he knew that I was like, that we're both like comic book nerds and we're both really into that. So
San Diego or SF?
Gift.
San Diego?
Yeah, San Diego Comic-Con.
Right on. That's awesome.
Hey, that's
Oh,
That's good.
It was like back in 2009 though. It was a long time ago.
Yo.
It was still good. It was really good.
That's
It was
awesome.
like before Watchmen came out, so they had the whole like Watchmen panel.
Nice.
That's sick. What about you, Mom?
I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Oh yeah, I never got anything either.
Thoughtful.
I mean, I got some gifts maybe for Christmas, if you want to count that.
I got a lot of great gifts. But the most thoughtful one I would say is I was a long time ago, and it was when I had a death in the family, and the girlfriend, I just paid rent, so I was like, I didn't have no money, and so she bought me a round trip ticket back home so I can go to that funeral. And even when I wanted to pay her back, she was like, "No, hell no, you're not gonna pay me back. Don't even worry about it." So that was like the most thoughtful gift.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That was pretty thoughtful.
That's good. Yeah, that's pretty thoughtful. Mine
I
have
like
been
women are more creative, man.
mine have been like, I guess just mm, like I don't know, like a bunch of stuff, but not really thoughtful. So yeah.
Somewhere you're thinking like, cause I feel like, man, I'm cheating out. The women are really good at that, man. They find real ways to really hit you with like a gift. You just like, oh man,
They fucking listen, dude.
they
They listen.
listen.
Yeah. Like one of my coolest gifts is a like $300 12-foot statue figurine werewolf, and it's like I've always wanted this thing, and she saw me looking at it one day and just came over with it one day, and she's like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's just one of those gifts.
All women, you guys got it. Like, man, thoughtful gift for sure. Women got that down. I mean, guys do it too, but like for sure. You know, they understand. Yeah, they know.
Thought
They know.
into it.
They know.
They thinking about it.
Listen.
They don't wait till the last minute.
Nope. And they do it so well. You're just like, man, you really thought this through. Like, you really thought this through.
They're having fun with it. One of my homies, he broke I think it was his PlayStation on accident, and he was crying about it or whatever, and this girl came over, and she brought him this game that he always wanted, and he was like, oh, I don't even have a system to play it on. She was like, oh. And she's like, you mean like this? And just pull one out, a new one, and I didn't even tell him.
You got him a new PlayStation?
Yeah, just like out of nowhere. It was just like a trip, man. That's just sometimes, man.
Never know.
You guys know what you're doing.
Okay. Well, my live stream is almost ending up soon, so I guess moving forward with this topic, these two topics, are these two things that we talked about. We talked about entitlement, shallowness, good or bad. We gave a reason that we can give for other people that are on the right track, that they're not shallow or entitled. But it's honestly, it comes to, in the day, man, it really comes to who you are as a person. If that's who you are, then fine. If at least, at least you would know that that's who you are. It's not a bad thing. So,
but also, you gotta understand that what you give or what you're attracting to. How do I put this into words? If you're looking for if you're looking for a 10 out of 10, most of you're gonna get a 10 out of 10, but it might not all work in your favor. Like if you're going through it and then stumble upon someone that's gonna catch your eye randomly, I think it's it's funner that way.
Yeah.
Funner because like you don't have any expectations. And I think that's what a lot of people do. They have expectations, a lot of standards. I'm guilty of it too. I was guilty of it too. Now I just go day by day and see who's fun.
Yeah, I agree, man.
It's a lot harder now, but
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's so many different expectations. Eventually, as you get older, your expectations get a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Okay, all right.
For me, it's not that hard because like now I'm very talkative. I'm not really scared. If I get rejected, I get rejected. Fuck, That's just me. I think you kind of have to put yourself out there. You don't have to go pick up every girl that you see. It could be cool hanging out with someone that you've been friends with for a very long time.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah, no, I think, like I said, man, it's just, hopefully we don't get that mixed up with expectations with shallowness. I think that's a different term of it, but expectation is not as bad. So I know the confusion might be with shallowness or expectations, but I don't think it's just knowing what you want. You're open to other things, but shallowness is when you're closed off completely to one thing. You're just like, okay, this is specifically, I like girls with like, nice feet, shit like that. So
that's funny.
But I've seen pretty people who are quote unquote narcissists that are looking for entitlement. It's kind of hard to spot those out. Those are kind of hard to spot too, because you never know with certain people, and they don't know that they're that type of person looking for that. So yeah, man, it's best tip I can give to people about that one is just spot them out, and if if they're aware of that, then let them know. If they're not, let them know too. So, I mean, that's all I have to say on that one.
It's hard.
If you guys want to add anything else on here, but I don't know how many minutes we got.
I mean, I'm sure they'll focus on the thing that they're most desired about. If they're just on that one thing, that's what they're going to focus on the most. And she'll see that. So they'll just be focused.
Yeah, Javi is on. your boy.
Hey,
your live stream buddy from last episode.
dude, we were killing it last time, dude. We were fucking killing the comment.
Javi's on. Yeah, he said what's up. All right.
I did read an article talking about that friends with benefits is becoming more of a norm than anything, because people are having these loose relationships with each other. They're still exclusive, but they're not any titles anymore, and they're just doing this friends with benefits kind of hookup thing more and more now than anything. People are less and less committed.
Yeah. Honestly,
but they're not cheating on each other, which is weird. It's just strange.
This quarantine, man, I think a lot of people man, this quarantine's messing people up. So I think now more days people are looking for just someone there. They're looking for just someone who's during these times. I think less of the friends with benefits is kind of harder to do now. So now you have to people who are focused on friends with benefits, it's kind of harder now because you can't expose yourself to another person now. So I think a lot more people are focused on just talking to someone, just having a conversation, live stream. Time.
Messaging.
Yeah. So this now it may change people's mindset about the whole friends with benefits, because you can't really do the hooking up. I mean, you will, but like now you're just like, oh.
That's true. You got to see if you're really friends or not.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Times have changed now, even in the dating scene, and I'm going to keep referencing it, especially what's going on right now. So currently, that's what we're doing right now.
Quarantine.
Because everyone knows tomorrow isn't promised, especially after how 2020 has been. Someone said. True.
It's very depressing. Right.
Yeah. But we're gonna keep on doing our podcast. We're gonna keep doing our live streams. We're tuning in for social distancing. I know you guys are in your own comfort of your homes.
2 months.
Oh, it's good.
There's gonna be so much sex after this is up.
Dude, Tinder's gonna be off the hook. Tinder, Bumble, they're about to be off the hook. So
everybody's gonna be crazy.
Lots of babies, that's for sure.
A lot of babies.
A lot of babies, yeah.
A lot of Corona babies. It's gonna be called Corona. Corona age.
The Corona baby.
Corona age. Huh? I was like, oh yeah.
I was born in 2020.
Yeah, they're gonna be December babies.
I was born in 2020. Ooh, that was a tough year.
You must have been
boomers, right?
I met some kids that were like born in 2008. Ooh, recession. That was a tough time.
Oh yeah.
2001. Ooh.
The quarantine year, man. Quarantine babies. I'm glad I'm all by myself though. With another person, I'd go crazy, man.
Hey, see, my year 87 wasn't really that crazy. I mean, things happen, but like not as crazy as this stuff. So like people think about 87, like, oh, what happened in 87? You don't remember. Yeah. We for sure remember all this.
I was the same year.
Yeah, so we're good.
I was 89, so the earthquake happened when I was 8.
Oh, yeah.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
He said
earthquake. That would suck right now. That would suck.
Yeah, hey, if that happened in California, California, man, we're about due for one. Sad to say, man. So, but hey, you know what? No one's gonna be right about today. So,
you know what would suck is after the quarantine is over, there's an earthquake.
Let's all go out.
But there's still people outside, man. There's still people
no, it's crazy. It's lit. People are still
Oakland. They're still doing the side street shit, shows and shit, the side shows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Fucking retards, man. It's like
they're so, and sideshows, they're hella close together, so everyone's kind of like next to each other.
You see the picture, everybody grouped up. It's like, man, one person has it, it's over.
The back of cars, just the tail of cars.
Makes no sense, man. No sense.
So the worst of times, man, Oakland will still have sideshows.
Yeah.
Man, right? Martial law. Let's sneak out
they
to
ain't
that
gonna do
sideshow
that,
going on.
We should be in martial law though. We should.
It might get to that. If it gets worse, it might get to martial law where they have an
Mhm.
actual
I doubt it.
curfew.
Yeah.
Nobody could be outside. I think New York is starting to do that.
Yeah,
So anybody outside after 10, they get arrested or some shit.
that's crazy.
Here it's midnight, no? Right?
I don't know. I don't know if it's actual real
Oh, I
thing or
don't know
not.
if they
It's
had
weird.
that.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
San Jose, right? San Jose, right?
It is? Oh, I didn't hear
San
that.
Jose's really strict now. Out there where you're at, man, San Jose's pretty. They started the whole. They're actually the first city I know who's been on curfew. Like they always been curfew even before time. Like 1:00 was like was the bad time. Now 1 a.m. they shut it down. All the bars down at 1 a.m.
Damn.
I was like, man, you guys are closing up. Like it's not like the city. So I noticed that too. But crazy, man, crazy times, man. But I appreciate you guys coming on. Awesome to have you guys on. I'm not sure if you guys want to add anything to that.
I'm gonna call you out, dude. You're hell late. You're hell late.
Just make sure you guys wash your hands. Like I always tell them every episode, make sure you guys are washing your hands. You know,
Don't leave the house. Stay
in the
at
house.
home.
Get some fresh air, drink some water. For the thirsties out there, drink your water.
I'm an editor, so I'm always at home. So I don't know what people are tripping about. I'm
What else are we doing there then?
Yeah. What I do here? This is like
Social distancing, man. Social distancing, man. What's wrong with him, man?
He lives literally down the street from me. So
Okay, all right. As long as he's stayed in, he's going on your house and back. He's not going out.
I don't go out. I stay home all the time. I edit at home. So
But Dante, don't you live with? You have a roommate, right?
I do. I have
You
roommates.
and Kylie, you have a roommate too, right?
No, I live by myself.
Oh, right on.
oh, what? Whoa, damn.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Okay.
nice. It's so nice.
Must be
Especially
nice.
being an introvert, it's like it's been bliss. I'm like, I've
Yeah,
been loving
yeah,
this shit.
it's great.
I've been loving it.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is like a dream come true.
I know. It's like I was gonna do this stuff anyway. Like
Yeah, I was avoiding people before this shit, so it was like,
Easy.
It's our life.
Same. Yeah, same.
All right, guys. I'm gonna end the topic here, man. We'll probably continue later, but if you guys want to stay on, we can. But I'm gonna take off recording. But yeah, I appreciate you guys again. Next topic we're gonna talk about. It's gonna be on Wednesday, right? We're still down for we're doing Wednesday.
Wednesday. I'm cool with that.
We're doing Y Date Wednesday. We're gonna celebrate that Y Date Wednesday, and that one's gonna be. Oh, man, you said it too. You said it earlier, Kylie. I forgot what it was.
I have to like look it up. I don't remember.
I'll put it on. We'll put it on the social media. But if you guys want to tune in, we're gonna put this on YouTube, ydatepodcast.com. It's on the website, so check it. Thank you guys for tuning in, listening in, and see you guys later.
Peace.
Later.